Hello, everyone. I'm working on some training content here, and I thought it would be useful to just share one of the things that I use frequently in Claude that I find very useful when I'm in Excel. So as you can see, I have this spreadsheet that is a demo of payroll budgeting data, and I need to clean it up for analysis purposes, which is typically something I would do in Power Query to split this into two tables and have a fact table for the payroll data and a dimension table for the employees. Now, all of this information is uh, fictitious data. So even if I were using real data, I would make it fictitious through the name, possibly the employee ID and the position title. And then everything else isn't unique. But anyway, when I'm working in Excel and I'm using the Claude sidebar, which I can activate the Claude sidebar just by coming here and clicking on my quick access toolbar. And there we go. So I'm now active with the Claude quick access toolbar. Again, no confidential information, so I'm okay. And when I look at this, I want to look at more options. If you click on settings, you want to make sure that session logging is active. Then everything that you ask Claude in the sidebar, it will summarize what it did for you. So it's a great uh, example of an audit log, if you will. And I've already done this, so I'm just going to close this. I've already done this. And what it gives you is this data, which I think we can all agree is needs a little work. I mean, it summarized it, but it needs a little work to clean it up. So one of the things I did, and this works real well, although it's not always perfect, is I take this and I want to format this. So I created a Claude skill that I can invoke right from here, and I do slash, and I can say CL. And you'll see that I have this ClaudeLogFormatter, formats the ClaudeLog worksheet creation worksheet. So I'm going to click on that and I'm just going to run it. Let's see what happens. You can follow along with what it's doing. It tells you the steps at the bottom and the progress that it's making. And one of the features I've added is I like to have Claude tell me about the complexity of each of the steps. So I asked it to rate it. Now it's going to tell me, it's going to overwrite some data. Am I okay? You can say dangerously always allow. I always just say allow once and I will activate that. And it kicks into gear. So you can see it immediately turns something and you go, well, that's not very good, but it's not done yet. Allow once again. Okay, now we're looking a little better. And you can see it's rating the complexity. And it's populating the complexity ratings, which I think is really fascinating. And what's it based on? It's a algorithm and a test that Claude does to determine complexity based on formulas, whether it's text or whether it has to write a formula or whatever. And it's pretty interesting that when I look through them, I go, yeah, this is pretty easy. It's a 3. This is pretty complex. It's a 9. Okay. So pretty fascinating how it does that. And let me come over here and you can see that it's added a step 10. User invoke Claude formatter, log formatter skill to format the sheet. And it's done. It tells me everything it did. And I now have a formatted sheet that's been named a table. Okay. And I didn't include this in the script, but I would always freeze my panes on this. So Alt WFF, and I can scroll down and look at everything I want. So that's it. ClaudeLogFormatter does this for me. And each time I'm working in my spreadsheet, whenever I invoke it, it's going to update this. It's not going to build it all from scratch. It's just going to update it. So great example, in my opinion, of a Claude skill.